In this video, I just want to sit back and just relax and talk to you like you're here with me. It's very interesting to see how this approach would go because it's something I've always wanted to do. I have to be honest, I'm still pretty new uploading to YouTube. I'm trying to get used to it and get comfortable recording and just be myself, be myself like I am when I'm home. Here's a question I have for you. When it comes to investing, how do we prepare ourselves for this? How do we prepare our minds to go through the cycles that we may experience when we're investing? It's tough. I have to be honest. It's pretty tough knowing that you've worked hard for this money and then you put it into a portfolio and you put it into some funds, or you buy some shares or stocks or maybe some bonds, and then you see the value go down, especially on a daily basis. That's not good. That's not something that we want to see. Most of the time, we are all concerned about that fact that we're going to lose money when it comes to, investing. And I understand that. That is everybody's concern. Nobody wants to lose money, even if you ask the wealthy people, like the billionaires and millionaires, they don't want to lose money. Everybody wants to either make sure the money is safe or at least see it increase in value. But what if I told you that losing money comes with investing, at least on a value basis in terms of paper losses? I believe that the ability to weather that storm is what brings out the solid investors. I'm going to give you an example. I know Warren Buffett, one of his quotes is, rule number 1 is don't lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget about rule number 1. And the truth is, does that mean he doesn't lose any money? That's not true. He recently lost on Delta and some other companies. I remember when Apple stock went down. Apple stock got to about $150, and I remember it dropped down back to about 100 or so, maybe 90s. This was maybe two years ago or so, or 3 years ago, something in that range. And when they interviewed him, he said that he knows that Apple has a good product and is not really concerned about a short-term fluctuations. And that is the key here, my friend. Like, if you understand that investing requires the tolerance during the downturn to hold on to good investments that may temporarily be losing money, then you might be up to something. Now, I will say that before you invest any money or before you start putting your money into any form of funds or portfolio, you have to really understand that that comes with investing. And ideally, I wish they could actually make investing more interesting. I know Robinhood and all these other small brokerage firms, although they're actually worth a lot now, they're doing a good job with designing apps and making it very easy for a common person to just buy a share or buy a stock and start investing without any form of complications. But at the end of the day, our decisions is what really makes us an investor. If you should ask someone that started a business, hey, how much money do you think you make in this business? I'm sure they will tell you, oh yeah, I'm going to make X amount of money. But does that mean that they make money every time? No, there are times when they lose money, and it comes with the business. If you bought a house at say $200,000, does that mean that your house will just keep going up in value from the day you buy it? No, it's gonna go up sometimes, and sometimes it's gonna go down. And when it goes down, we don't worry about it because our house provides us shelter and we are not really worried at that time. Now, when it comes to selling it, we might be concerned about how much money we can make on it, considering the fact that maybe we held the house for 10 years or 15 years or maybe 20 years. So if we could hold on to the same mindset, but when you're going in, you're not really concerned about how much money you're going to make on the house, unless you're an investor. That's a different case. But for someone that's going to live in a place, you probably are not looking at how much I'm going to make when I sell the house going in. Now, this strategy, I believe, works for funds or index funds or mutual funds. Why? Because first of all, you are not there to pick the companies, the individual shares or stocks that makes up the fund. And that means that your ability isn't necessary, isn't even required. Your ability to pick the winning stocks isn't required. One of the things that you just have to worry about is the type of fund you're picking. Does it match your investment style? Like the risk level, the volatility involved, and maybe the returns. For example, someone might choose bonds over an equity fund. Someone might choose a money market fund over bonds. It all depends on your investment style. So at the end of the day, my thought is this. If you want to invest money, you have to understand that you could lose money. And it is fine because that is the risk that comes with it. If you do not want to lose any money, then you should be putting your money in a savings account. But again, I will tell you that even with that, you're losing money through inflation. Every month they report inflation, and this report always explains what inflation rate is in the industries or in the economy. Generally, it's always within that 2% range or a little bit less than that. Anything more than that becomes a bit of a worry for, people, because now things are getting more expensive to purchase for the same amount of money. So if you're just keeping your money in the savings account and you think you have some money in the savings account, you may think to yourself, well, my money is safe, it's secure, and that is true. But you're also putting a lot of money away that could have been given to you just because of the risk you have taken. Do not forget that we all worry about the fluctuations in the stock market. But one of the other things that we should think about is the dividends. The dividends are things that are given to investors generally when companies make profit. And these dividends, if you find good, valuable companies or funds or index funds or mutual funds that have good paying dividends, people live on these things. So the point is this: you have to take a chance. You have to understand the risk and take a chance. Without taking a chance, you are losing money by putting that money in a savings account. Now, how much of money should you be putting into an investment that could lose value? That's the next question. I have to say to you that it is really up to your situation again. If you're young and you're living with your parents, you don't care if you lose all your money. Well, you have a roof over your head at least. But if you are, in your 40s and you have a family, then you worry about your family members because you don't want to put them in the streets. So your risk tolerance will be different. And then what are your goals? What are your investment goals? What are you looking to do? Because here's another thing that I always ask people. Why are you saving money? Why are you investing your money? Or why are you choosing to invest your money? Because if at the end of the day, you're just jumping on the bandwagon and just think, well, everybody's doing it, let me jump into it, I believe that you will end up not achieving a solid goal. There must be a goal you're working towards. Are you saving for retirement? Are you saving for your child's education? Are you saving for a house, a car? Are you saving for your own education? These are all different factors why people would choose to save, but you must have a reason why you are saving money. You can't just save money just because you just want to save it. You must have a goal, and preferably let it be a solid goal, like retirement. That's a very concrete reason why you want to save for retirement. Why do you want to save for retirement though? Is it because you just don't want to have to depend on the government? That's enough for good reason. Nobody wants to depend on the government, knowing that with the amount of debt that the US government is in at this point, and is still increasing on a daily basis, we're not even sure of what the social security would be in the next few years. According to some of the reports, I believe they said the social security may run out by 2035 or something like that. And that's just something that is scary to people like me, that in the next 30 years or 35 years should be retired, assuming I keep working to that age. But even if you don't plan to work till, a full retirement age, you probably want to have enough money to survive and just pay your normal bills. My question for you in this video is this: before you invest, before you start putting your money into accounts, before you open your first brokerage account, before you make that transfer and make that purchase, why are you investing? Why should you invest? Okay, why are you investing if you're already doing it, or why should you be investing if you aren't yet? Okay, ask yourself those questions and be a rational investor. Don't be emotional. Don't go with the market. Okay, when the market is down, now you want to jump out. When the market is up, now you want to jump in. You don't want to do that. So I urge you to just, consider a situation, look at the risks involved, understand the kind of investments you're taking, understand why you're going to choose an individual stock over a mutual fund or an index fund, understand why you might choose to go with bonds or money market funds or certificate of deposits, and so many fund investments out there, or even real estate. These are all forms at which we can have, passive income if that's what you want. These are all ways to achieve that. But mind you, there's different ways. Can you partner with people in businesses? Can you start your own business business? Can you start an online business? Can you run an organization that will pay you a certain amount of money based on maybe commission, maybe a sales commission? It all depends. But if you have a goal that you have set out to achieve and you work diligently at it, I believe you would achieve it. Again, this is a different style that I'm trying out. Let me know what you think if you've watched this video to this point. I do want to thank you for watching it. Just my thoughts, just my ideas. It's my channel. So give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing to the channel. Then the other thing is, if you have subscribed to the channel, then thank you so much. All right, I do really appreciate you being here and joining me in this journey. I'll see you in my next video.